Another demonic portal has opened in your dungeon. It's payday. The mindless army came across a strange demonic barrier, which, while it meant nothing to them, was certain to awaken disquieting memories of those familiar with the living dead. There would be no progress as long as the barrier existed. It had to be
destroyed. Destroy the living! Destroy the demons! And, destroy the demonic barrier's source of power!
Good attitude, but it has to be found first. The corrupting evil had won a glorious victory. The fountain was destroyed, nothing more than a muddy, repulsive morass. You could hear the wailing of elves and pixies in the distance, music to the vile evil's ears. At the same time, it had put the chaotic evil in its place, having beaten it soundly in the contest. Now it was time to pursue Melty Sand.
Not so fast. You have to take a different path.
Him again, of course. I was wondering where you'd gotten to. Interesting that you're never there when problems and battles arrive.
Well, I'm a busy prophet, but I must warn you. The Alliance's altar has been completed. You are not strong enough to destroy it. Only the one true evil can stop this threat to all evilldom.
You mean?
The absolute evil. It must recombine. The three parts must once again be made one.
But how is that supposed to work? There's nothing about any of this in my notes. Barthas?
Destroy the living?
As always, not much help when it's not about wrecking something.
You must go to the Stones of Destiny atop the Unlonely Mountain. Go now. The others are already on their way.
Well, you should always do what these prophets say. What can possibly go wrong? So, on to the Unlonely Mountain. The corrupting evil set out for the Stones of Destiny, high on the Unlonely Mountain. There it would follow the sayings of a crazy old man to reawaken the absolute evil. The Stones of Destiny. Here it would all end.
There is the place where the ritual must be performed. Take Marthas there and sacrifice him as a vessel.
What? Sacrifice? But I don't want to be sacrificed.
Do not worry. You're going to be the vessel for the new absolute evil. Your essence will merge with it, and you will be the most powerful being in the world.
Oh, right then. That sounds brilliant. Okay, let's do it. Destroy the living.
Yet that was easier said than done, for there was massive resistance. The Alliance had apparently anticipated evil's plans and built a strong defense near the Stones of Destiny. This would have to be taken out first. In addition, the siblings were disagreed as to just whom should perform the ritual. Both the chaotic evil and the ultimate evil had their own opinions and were hardly likely to ally themselves with the correct evil. Rather, there would be a fierce battle for the hill, I mean, the Stones of Destiny. For evil creatures generally resolve such disagreements in a most civilized manner, with copious amounts of violence.
Got it. Destroy the living. Destroy the demons. Destroy the Horde. The Alliance is taking the Stones of Destiny.
Here, another path led into the depths. Behind it lay the ultimate evil dungeon, bound with pieces and just waiting for the mindless army to storm it. As the last ridiculous little defender hit the ground, the path into the Horde's dungeon was free. Now, the corrupting evil would take terrible revenge for all the disrespect the naughty goblins and cowardly little snots had shown it. And yet again, Melty Sand came back to life in the purifying fire of her altar. The corrupting drinking vow. With death be the end of this miserable heroine. Forever. Forever and ever. What a joke.
In the name of the Fire God,
The Alliance is taking the Stones of Destiny.
The ultimate evil was defeated. With the destruction of its throne room, neither orcs nor goblins would interfere with the ritual. but instead give the corrupting evil precedence. The mindless army left the dungeon in an eerily silent procession and turned to the next.
Enemies have entered the dungeon.
The mindless army had found the chaotic evil's outpost. At an appropriate time, the undead would pay the demons here a visit, and not in a petty kind.
Destroy the living! Destroy the demons!
Nicely. The demons' outer defenses were overcome. The path to the chaotic evil's dungeon was clear. The mindless army prepared for the attack. It's payday. The mindless army's victory over the chaotic evil was now within grasp. The chaotic evil and his demons were defeated and forced to acknowledge the corrupting evil's supremacy because they didn't have much of a choice. The rank and file of the mindless army chattered their toothless jaws as they cheered, and brittle, metacarpal bones shattered in dusty storms of applause. Again, Meltisand was reborn in the fire. The corrupting evil wondered just who was actually responsible for resurrecting the undead around here. Angered at this outrageous interference, it began preparations for the next attack on Meltisand. It's payday.
There are enemies.
You're not getting rid of me that easily. I'll be back.
The corrupting evil now held the stone. The ritual began. Barthas stood ready to accept all of the evil into himself. And in a black wave of anger, the corrupting, chaotic, ultimate evil flowed into him. Now, it was only a matter of time. The ritual would take some time to complete. During this period, Barthas would be virtually defenseless and unable to fight back. He would need the mindless army to defend him. With a casual gesture, the clever evil set the defenders in motion.
Excellent, excellent. Soon it will be time. I can't wait. Finally, the time draws near.
The Stones of Destiny contained ancient secrets, and the corrupting evil had found a way to unleash their power. Just one quick command, and the stones would send out a wave of destruction capable of destroying any and all attackers, provided they were stupid enough to come within range of the stones.
My plan will soon bear fruit. It's only a matter of time.
And yet again, Melty-Sand came back to life in the purifying fire of her own corrupting evil ride. Next time would definitely be the end of this miserable heraldry. Forever. Forever and ever. What a joke.
You may have won this battle, but I shall win the war.
ritual was successful. Barthas's body was now home to the concentrated power of all that is evil. A huge flash of light bathed the land in brightness and briefly obscured the stones of destiny, where Barthas was quickly replaced by the absolute evil. The absolute evil had awakened. Nothing would be able to stop it now. Evil had triumphed.
Not so fast. I've been waiting for this. The time has finally come.
You? What do you want? What's this all about? You don't even appear in the story anymore.
That's what you think. This is my big chance. I planned it all. I have already caused absolute evil's first slip. I gave the hero the magic formula for its banishment earlier.
What? That was you? You're a miserable traitor to the evil cause. How can you be so good?
I'm just as evil. I helped reunite the absolute evil again. Surely you're asking yourself why? Well, it's all part of my devious plan. If I defeat and destroy the absolute evil here, I'll take its place. I will rule the evil nations and enslave the Alliance. I shall sit on the Iron Throne.
Icy throne, not iron.
Icy throne, then. Whatever. Anyway, I'll be the absolute evil instead of the absolute evil.
Okay, this isn't good. I'm afraid there's going to be an epic battle. You cannot, under any circumstances, die here, or all is lost. This is the most important fight of the whole story. It's him or you. Only one of you will... Oh, right, well, forget what I said. The ridiculous prophet had apparently thought that he had a chance against the absolute evil, but this was, of course, a fallacy, one which earned him a devastating blow. A formidable victory for the mindless army, and the Horde, and the demons, of course.
Don't rejoice too soon. You haven't won yet. The Fire God is on my side. You will never take New King's Ending!
Oh, right. Forgot about her. New King's Ending? Really? Okay, fine. The absolute evil quickly marched to New King's Ending to finally put an end to the Alliance. The absolute evil was reunited, and once again it hurried to New King's Ending, there to destroy Melty-Sand and her miserable little altar of rebirth. The final battle was at hand. Well, the time had finally come. Finally. God, how many times have I already said that? Doesn't matter. This time it really is the end. The absolute evil stood before New King's Ending. The Alliance had built a new capital with the same old name. Here, Melty-Sand had built the new altar of rebirth in the name of her fire god. As long as this danger still existed, wave after wave of heroes would launch themselves against evil. The altar had to be destroyed. Then, too, there was, of course, Melty-Sand herself. The High Priestess of the Fire God had turned out to be a worthy opponent and a threat to the absolute evil. If she were to die, the Alliance's fate would be sealed. But as long as the altar stood, she too would always be revived.
You think you've won? You have no idea. The altar is protected by the Fire God's sacred stones. Their barrier is impenetrable to your abominations. Forward, Alliance! Destroy them! Have no fear. The altar will save you.
Good point. Before the pondering evil could carve its way to the altar, it would first have to destroy the barrier. For this, it had to grab the Fire God by its... it had to destroy the Fire God's 2 sacred stones. Got it? Let me repeat that for you. First, destroy the crystals. Second, destroy the altar. Third, destroy Meltisand. The absolute evil approached New King's Ending. It was happy to be whole again. This division, had been nothing but one giant headache. All the while it was throwing itself into battle here, its creatures were diligently producing mana that trickled steadily into it over time. Moreover, it also had access to the faction's spells, the best of them. We don't need to waste time on piddling little generic spells. Absolute evil effortlessly destroyed some idiots from the Alliance. The gate to New King's Ending was secured by a consecrated object. Honestly, it made the absolute evil giggle. Or, it would have giggled if it had ever made a sound. Anyway, of course, that was no obstacle. After all, it had merged with Barthas, and could also use his fantastic skills. The place was desecrated. The gate to the city open. With determined tread, the absolute evil marched forward.
Protect us.
These few Alliance troops had no... The cemetery-profaning evil has just desecrated one of the aforementioned, thus dragging some undead from their graves. cemetery has been desecrated and now calls the undead from their graves. Absolute evil had desecrated a cemetery. Undead rose from their graves and began to attack the Alliance.
The Fire God will protect us!
Massacring evil stomped another group of defenders into the dirt. The absolute evil reached one of the inner gates of New King's Ending. The Alliance had barricaded it well. It would be difficult to break through there. But then, out of nowhere, or more precisely out of the fog of war, a death bolt appeared. The absolute evil made a mental note to rename the creature sometime soon. The death bolt shot at a small stash of dynamite, which by happy coincidence was stored here, and blew a passage through the rock. Through it poured a flood of horde creatures, who willingly cut their lord a path. Lo and behold, the gate was open.
Triumph!
Absolute evil effortlessly destroyed some idiots from the Alliance. The absolute evil had now conquered another large area of New King's Ending. It decided to let the Horde secure the area. One may consider it unwise, but the Barthas in the absolute evil wanted to confront Melty Sand alone. Stupid idea. Oops, that was it for the absolute evil. Somehow, I had expected a bit more, because that was pretty pitiful. But hey, let's not argue so close to the end. In fact, the absolute evil wasn't dead at all, but had only slipped on its long coat, or something like that, whatever. It got right back up and kept on fighting. The all-destroying evil reached a large square, the last bastion before Melty Sand's retreat. The Alliance had positioned their last great army. Demons were supposed to attack it, but the portals were kept closed by Alliance mages. With the demons' help, the place would be overrun in a flash. The cunning evil knew what to do.
have made it this far, but that won't help you. The fire god's sacred stones protect this place. The altar is safe.
The woman has no idea. It somehow never occurred to Meltisand that the sacred stones unfortunately lay virtually unprotected and could therefore be destroyed. So, absolute evil marched in.
Wait, what are you doing? No, you can't attack the stones! Soldiers, keep it back!
Again? You died again? Already? Okay, I think that's pretty shameful, really. This is the last match, and all you have to do is just hack and slash your way through, okay? Well, get up and try again. The barrier protecting the altar of rebirth still stood firm. The ponderous evil finally got underway to destroy the sacred stones. The absolute evil reached the first of the two sacred stones that made up the altar's protective barrier. It would require a couple of stout blows and a modicum of brute force.
Stop it! The stone must not be destroyed! You may have destroyed one of the stones, but the second is well guarded, and its power alone is sufficient to maintain the barrier. The good shall triumph.
Let me just say, that was just the first blow, and the second is right behind it.
Heroes of the Alliance, defend the sacred stone. It must not fall. The altar must be protected.
Meltisand actually believed that she and her miserable defenders could stop the unstoppable evil. How cute. Unimpressed, the absolute evil began to destroy the second sacred stone. The second sacred stone fell victim to the absolute evil's blows. The path to the altar was free. It was time for the Alliance leftovers to wet their pants and pray to all the gods they had ever heard of.
Remain steadfast, men. The altar is still in our possession and active. We can still win. For the fire god! King's ending will never fall.
The area was secure, the altar almost within grasp. The absolute evil directed its demonic subjects to guard the place, and proceeded on alone. If you want something done right, do it yourself, thought the absolute evil.
What does not kill me makes me stronger. the fire, I have been reborn. I shall return from the fire.
The first cracks appeared in the altar. Excellent! That's the stuff!
Protect the altar! It must not be destroyed!
The altar was almost destroyed, but only almost. Come on, finish the stupid thing off! Ah, fine, fine. All good things come in threes. Don't embarrass me here. Not again.
I am back. No, this cannot be. You will pay for this. I will destroy you.
It was done. The altar of rebirth was in ruins, and Melty lay next to it on the floor, dead. The absolute evil had triumphed. Excellent work, my friend. I read that the developers have really raised the level of difficulty. You can be proud of yourself. I'm not going to say any more here because that all comes in the outro sequence, but it was. See you in part 3. Oh, wait. I wasn't supposed to say that. I mean, maybe we'll hear from one another again someday. Melty was defeated. The Red Priestess hit the ground with a long, drawn-out and breathed her last. Since the ultimate evil had already laid waste to the altar of rebirth, it could be certain that this time her demise was now permanent. Moreover, never again would a hero of the Alliance rise from the dead. They would henceforth simply lie there and rot once they had been struck down. It was a glorious victory, through and through. Not only was the absolute evil restored and had united the evil nations, it had also handed the do-gooders an annihilating defeat. Horde, demons, and undead cheered their champion. An era of terror began for the kingdoms of the Alliance. An eternal reign of evil. But would evil's rule truly last forever? After all, every evil tends to attract heroes with more luck than skill, who then defeat it. Should the reign of evil already be counting its days, then? You know how it is. All good things come in threes.